abandon that there hope, huh? How about you abandon that there fucking hope, bitch? Tired of your stupid fucking hope.
I pre-abandoned my hope before we started tonight.
Yeah, I decided to come on an hour early because it was actually considerably easier to find stories than it usually is.
Damn.
Usually I have to be super discerning, but today I was just like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. All just fell magically and deliciously into place. No problems.
A bountiful day for stupidity.
You might have noticed that Paul's here.
How could you miss me? I'm like a big baby blue.
I don't think anyone's ever missed you, Paul.
Oh, that's mean, TJ.
That is mean.
That's mean-spirited.
That is mean. I'm sorry. I apologize for my crudeness, Paul.
That's okay.
Paul is always talking. Well, Paul's always talking too much. What are you going to do about that, you know? Before we get too far, I'd like to say that this episode of Band and Hope is sponsored by Toongrin. They are a duo of sort of real no-holds-barred reviewers that take on animation. So if you're a fan of animation and shit, they just fucking tear it apart relentlessly, brutally, cruelly. Supporting my sponsors helps to support me. Their links are right down below. They got a YouTube channel and they got a fucking website. They had to get rid of they had a channel before, they had to get rid of it because of some YouTube fuckery and bullshit. They deal with a lot of copyrighted content and stuff. But, yeah, they are available to watch down below, so check that shit out at your leisure.
Fuck that at your leisure shit.
As soon
as this is over.
Yeah, go check
that out.
Go check it out.
Gotta take a firm hand.
Firm hand with the people. Firm hand. Where is the nice ass? It turned into Paul. Well,
shit.
You can get nice asses by contributing via Streamlabs, I believe. I believe that's a thing.
I mean, if you want, I can do this whole show bent over the couch with my big, flat, blubbery, pimply, hairy ass hanging out for everybody.
I think that they're probably good on that.
Okay. Well, just let me know, chat.
Yeah, just let Paul know. Let Paul know what you want.
Whatever you want.
I hate to do a double shilling thing at the very beginning of the episode, but I don't know. You guys might not be aware here. We have combined all of our properties into one Patreon.
Fuck you, asshole.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, sir has donated $5. Thank you. And there's your ass right there.
There you go. Now you can't complain. There's a big jiggly ass right there.
Look at it. I love that under crease. That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of cellulite on it, too, which I actually kind of like because it lets you know there's some real meat on that booty.
Yeah, it's not just bullshit. Anyway, so we got Deep Fat Fried every Friday. The Friday shows are for patrons only. We're going to do a Abandon Hope. Well, it's usually just going to be me doing the Abandon Hope. Paul on Abandon Hope's kind of a rare thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time it's ever happened, actually.
I think so, yeah.
Cinema for Cynics, Paul's movie review channel. We got some exclusive stuff coming from that. We got some exclusive ideologies as well.
It's like 12 hours of shit for $5 a month.
Yep.
If you're a fan of...
join the crowd, because we already have 2,262 patrons on that. And, we're phasing out... I have a Patreon I'm phasing out. Paul has a Patreon for Cinema for Cynics that's being phased out. Although we really didn't so much launch it, because we're kind of just like, man, why are we going to develop a whole new Patreon when we can just combine all of our Patreons into one?
Makes sense. Easier for you guys, too.
So the link to that is also in the description. And now that bullshit is over, we can actually take a look at something.
We can actually abandon our hope.
Yeah, it's time to actually abandon hope. So this is a story I saw earlier today. I almost made just a standalone... TJ Kirk, Amazing Atheist video just about this. This is pretty fucking weird. Body camera footage shows police never got out of cruiser to check for Ohio teen crushed by minivan seat. $double for double neckbeards.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. So, this is a really fucking crazy story. I'll go ahead and play this video here.
Fuck you, asshole.
Explains quite a bit of it. Yes, more ass. Thank you, Marshall.
Year-old Kyle Plush was on his way to a tennis match in Madisonville, Ohio. He stopped at his family van parked outside of his school. He ended up being crushed by a third-row seat and died a slow death. According to police, around 2:14 p.m., the teen called 911 from inside the van at Seven Hills High School in Ohio. He told the call taker he was unable to hear them, and police say there was no exchange. 911 then calls back, but the teen doesn't answer. Dispatch sends a squad car to the school to check on a trouble call. As police are on the scene responding, the teen calls 911 a second time from inside the van. This time, a different call taker answers.
So the police
and
are
he
already
gives
there.
his exact location and description of the van he's trapped in.
What happened now? How did he get trapped in the van?
Well, this is part of the reason I think that this kid ended up dying, because it's a difficult situation to even explain. Like, crushed by the seat, how the hell does that work?
How do you get accidentally crushed unless it didn't look like there was a car accident?
No, there was no accident. There was nothing like that. He was actually crushed by the seat. I have a diagram showing exactly how it happened. Oh, it looks like, where'd the fucking diagram go? Here it is. So here's the diagram. So here's the seat that crushed him. You can see what its purpose is. It's supposed to go back into there. He was reaching behind there to get some equipment.
Okay. Oh, shit. And it just and he couldn't get out.
It pinned him inside the little compartment there, compressed his chest to the point where he could not breathe. And, you know, he kind of had this slow, crushing, suffocating death.
Wow, dude.
Over the course of hours. And, you know, he called 911 twice. The 911, well, you're about to find out exactly just the level of fail involved
However,
here.
that second 911 call taker does not give this vital information to police on the scene, and the incident was closed. Plush was found dead in the van about 9 hours after his first call. Here is some of the sound from the 911 calls. The dispatcher apparently confused the boy for a girl and gave the wrong location to a deputy.
I put in there she could possibly be in the thrift store parking lot across the street.
Yeah, I was in there. I just looked in the van. I didn't see anybody in it.
Male was screaming, call 911, unknown subject description. We just now got another call in from a third party advising that a missing child was found in the vehicle.
Police say they've launched a comprehensive investigation into all parties involved. The woman who took the second
So the crazy thing, yeah, hold on.
911 call has been placed on leave.
Yeah, she was placed on leave. He basically gave her all the information that she needed to know where he was.
Right.
And she actually did not relay it to the police accurately. She blames, oh, my computer screen froze. You know, like you can't get a fucking steno pad or something and write some shit out, you know?
Write something down, bitch.
But yeah, I think that part of the reason why he died is because how do you even explain that? Because until I saw that diagram, I didn't understand what the fuck was even being talked about here. Like, what do you mean crushed by a seat? I just didn't get what the hell they were even talking about. The cops that showed up didn't even get out of their cruiser.
They didn't even bother looking in it.
Yeah, they didn't go around looking in the vans to try to find this kid. They just kind of drove around the parking lot. I don't see nothing suspicious. Let's go. Probably a prank. Probably just a prank. And it was his dad that ended up finding him 9 hours later, just crushed to death, just, you know, dead with his feet hanging up in the air and shit. So pretty fucking crazy, weird story.
I mean, just a multiple fail.
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of wonder, like, you know, why didn't he go around and open up the trunk?
Or shine his fucking... I mean, like, if he would have shown his fucking flashlight in there, he probably would have seen feet sticking up in the air and shit.
Well, I'm talking about the kid himself. Like, why didn't he go back there and just open it that way? Maybe it was broken. Another thing I kind of wonder about is why didn't he call anyone else? You know, like, he called 911. Why didn't he call his family and let them know what was going on? Maybe, I mean, I assume that, you know, he's upside down. His oxygen is compressed. He's probably not thinking clearly. You're trained in that situation to automatically think, oh, it's 911. I got to call 911. I'm in an emergency. I got to call 911. Just fucking crazy, though. You know, and so many failure, I mean, on the kid's part to some extent, although I don't think that reaching behind your seat to grab something should be a death sentence.
I mean, who plans for their seat to flip upside down and crush them? You know,
it's such a preposterous thing. You
shouldn't be designed that way, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, so stupid design on Honda's part. Although, even them, like, how would they conceive of that? You know, it's just such a wild idea that maybe someone will be leaning over this and then the seat will fall and they'll be pressed up against the wall.
What a fucked up way to die, man.
I know, depending on how cognizant he is of his situation, he's got to know, like, I'm dying a stupid fucking death.
Oh, yeah, dude.
This is a stupid way to die. This is a fucking pointless, meaningless, shitty, fucking slow, miserable fucking death. Totally fucking bullshit. And, the 9/11, I'm sorry, not the 9/11, the 911 dispatcher, of course, has been put on leave. The cops who just kind of drove around and didn't really check in anything, not suspended, still on active duty.
Didn't that cop say over the 911 operator call that he had looked in the van?
He was just lying. They should
put him on. Yeah, dude. Why hasn't he been suspended?
They have body cam footage. It shows they never left their vehicle. So they're just kind of. I mean, they didn't take it seriously. And I mean, once again, it's like it's hard to fucking convey. Like, if you're in that situation, how do you explain it to another person as you're fucking hanging upside down, as you're being deprived of oxygen? You manage to dial 911, and you're just fucked from there, though.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, you're never going to be able to explain what's happened to you in a million fucking years in that fucking scenario.
No, but I mean, like, it sounds like he was able to say, I'm in a van in this parking lot.
Yeah.
So, like,
he definitely gave them enough information that if there was the least bit of competency on the part of the 911 operator, if there was the least bit of competency on the part of the police who came to investigate, then he would have been saved.
It just totally could have been prevented by one of these fucking donut munchers getting out of their squad car and shining a flashlight in the window real quick.
Thanks for the laughs and great times. You're welcome. Man,
I don't know how many laughs this one's delivering.
I mean, there's something inherently funny about dying in such a ridiculous way, even if it is a horrible fucking thing.
Like a teenage kid, too, not even really started his life yet, crushed in the back of a shitty-ass minivan.
16 years old, just went to school to play some fucking tennis, dead. And,
Fuck, man.
And he did everything. I mean, maybe not every single thing you could have done to save your life, but he did the reasonable thing. He called the authorities. He called 911. He told them exactly where he was and what his predicament was to the best of his ability under those fucking circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He might have been lapsing in and out of consciousness and shit.
And he's dead. Yeah, he was definitely lapsing in and out of consciousness because, I mean, like they said, they tried to call him back. He didn't answer. So he was clearly in and out of it.
Yeah.
We do know is that on that second 911 call, something has gone terribly wrong. This young man
was
crying out for help. We weren't able to get that information to the officers on the scene, and we need to find out why. I'm not certain at this point if we're talking about an equipment malfunction or some type
there's two parts to
error.
this. You weren't able to fucking get the right information to the officers on scene, and the officers on scene lied about getting out and actually looking into the problem. They had enough information to save this kid. Like I said, if one of them had gotten out of their fucking squad car and done a check of the windows, they would have seen his feet sticking up, and he would have been okay.
And, it's funny because they're totally trying to pin it all on the 911 operator.
Oh, of course they are, dude. The boys in blue always have each other's back.
She fucked up, for sure. But to say that these guys didn't also fuck up is patently goddamn ridiculous. Is rain god's tears due to the lack of individualism? I don't think it probably is, Mr. Peterson, or Professor Peterson, or whatever the hell your name is.
Dr.
Peterson. Yeah, it's like, wow. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I can't help but empathize with his fucking predicament, the predicament of being stuck in that situation. Because I think, we have that thing out there in the garage, the inversion table. Recall all Honda Odysseys now. Abandon hope, TJ and Paul.
Yes.
Thank you for the tits.
I mean, they should recall Honda Odysseys anyway because they suck.
Yeah, they just killed a kid, so. But man, I just think about being on that inversion table out there because it basically turns you upside down to stretch your back out.
Yeah.
And it feels really good, but you get like a serious head rush when you're on that thing. Like, oh man, all your blood just rushes to your brain. I can't imagine that plus
something crushing your chest
compression going on at the same time. Like, you know, it won't take long under those circumstances for you to be basically useless, but it will take a long time for you to be dead.
Yeah, totally fucked up.
So, I mean, you know, the kid died a real fucking awful death, and also just a really ridiculous one, and one that doesn't even make sense until you literally look at a diagram of what the fuck actually happened to him. But yeah, we have. I mean, there's some footage below here of this is the kid that died right here. This is the car that fucking ended up killing him. He had to basically, I guess he had to explain that he wasn't joking. Keep it up, TJ and Paul. I could feel my hope abandoning. It's still kind of there, though. P.S. I'm a patron. Well, thank you.
Thank you for those bouncy ass titties, man.
I'll donate $30 if you lick each other's faces. Well, we're not your fucking clowns, bitch.
I ain't doing that, dude.
Costs way more than that. So yeah, this is Brian Brazil body cam. You know, he's never out of his car.
He just drives around a little bit.
Same thing for this guy, just driving around, never once gets out of the vehicle. They recorded 11 minutes. They were there for 11 minutes. The shitty thing is, too, I don't know if you noticed this in the report, but the officers were actually there when the kid made the second call.
So they were there looking for him.
They were actually at the scene when he made the second call to 911. So as he was talking to the 911 operator, they were actually at the scene driving around. Good show, depressing topic. This $10 I gave you is $10 you owe me. So I got to pay that back? Okay.
It's a loan.
I'm going to remember that.
A micro loan.
What's the interest on that? Yo, TJ, you're the man, and Paul is pretty cool also.
Hey, I'll take pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'll take a big old bouncy pair of titties,
Big
too.
old bouncy pair of titties.
That girl knows just what to do with them big old titties.
Everywhere. Yeah.
That's all I want done with big old titties right there. Is just a little shoulder shimmy.
Just
let them
dance
bounce.
around. Peterson was on Bill Maher. I saw that. I did see Peterson on Bill Maher. Good show, depressing topic. This $10. Oh, that's the super chat that we already read. So I guess I don't need to read them from below
the
us.
chat.
I'll just read them when they pop up here. Anyway, once again, I mean, it's hard to imagine in that situation what you fucking do. So I have some stupid stuff on Twitter and other social media kind of just mixed around here. I don't know who Chance the Rapper is, but apparently he has a check mark and shit.
He's a rapper, yeah.
Well, I gathered that much somehow.
He hangs around with, what's his name? I can't remember. Fuck, I lose track of all these fucking rappers these days. But yeah, I've heard him before.
Okay. Well, how does a teenage get stuck in a car and die? We showed a fucking diagram.
Yeah, we showed
I don't know how we
is.
could fucking make it any more clear. So this is a CBS Los Angeles reports, in wake of Weinstein, men wonder if hugging women is still okay. And Chance the Rapper's like, gross, don't.
Is he talking about gross don't write a stupid story like this, or gross don't hug women?
Gross don't hug women.
Oh, okay.
So someone replies to him and says, so we're cutting off all human contact between the sexes now. Isn't that Sharia law? To which Chance the Rapper replies, stop trying to make people hug you, whatever the person's name is. No one wants to hug your hugs or hyperbolic racist comparisons or unbuttoned top buttons. Keep it all to yourself. So he's going like further than the fucking R. He's like, I don't even want to, like, if you showing this much off, that's too much. Wow. No one wants to see that shit. No one want to see the faintest sliver of your chest. Like,
what kind of rapper is this?
I know, dude. Like, does he want men in burqas? I mean, what the fuck is this shit? I mean, this dude's a fucking jackass retard.
I mean, I got no problem with somebody who doesn't want to be hugged, refusing a hug and shit.
If there's a social situation and you know it's a situation where you might hug somebody and they're like, no, I don't really want to hug, I'd just be like, okay, cool, rock on. I don't really want to hug you either. I was just gonna do it because it was a social norm for this kind of thing. But
Yeah,
Who
see,
cares
I'm a
and shit?
hugger. I'll give a hug, but I always, you do
you
that,
got-
that kind of
you know,
check for
Respect
consent thing.
boundaries, you know?
Of course, but like saying never give anybody a hug again, like what is that?
Don't even unbutton a top button. And what is this racist shit? Your racist comparison?
Because he brought up Sharia law.
What
Yeah.
the fuck does that have to do with any race?
I don't know.
That's not.
That's a religious tenet.
Yeah, that's a
last time I checked.
Yeah, there's white Muslims, there's black Muslims, there's
Asian Muslims.
Yeah, there's every fucking color of Muslim under the sun. So Sharia law is not something that's associated with any fucking particular race. So calling it racism is just oblivious nonsense. Chance the Rapper is obviously being sarcastic there. Duh. I don't think he is. Maybe he is. I don't fucking know. I don't know Chance the Rapper, so.
I mean, yeah, dude, it's hard to tell. Like these days, it's hard to tell.
Pretty weird shit. So, Verne Troyer, little mini-me midget.
Who I got to be honest with you, and I mean no disrespect. I thought he was dead.
Well, he is now.
Oh, he died?
Yeah, he's dead now.
Oh.
He actually, it appears that it was a suicide. This is the same I felt about the chimpanzee attack. Terrifying. I'm assuming he's probably talking about the kid in the car from earlier.
I would guess.
So here's the statement from his official fan page here. It is with great sadness and incredibly heavy hearts to write that Verne passed away today. Verne was an extremely caring individual, make everybody smile, the usual shit they say about someone who dies. He inspired people around the world with his drive, determination, and attitude on film and television sets, commercial shoots, and Comic-Cons, and personal appearances to his own YouTube videos. He was there to show everyone what he was capable of doing. Well, one thing he was capable of doing is apparently killing himself. Verne was also a fighter when it came to his own battles over the years. He struggled and won, struggled and fought some more, but unfortunately this time was too much. During this recent time of adversity, he was baptized while surrounded by his family. The family appreciated that they have this time to grieve privately. Depression and suicide are very serious issues. You never know what kind of battle someone is going through inside. Be kind to one another, and always know it's never too late to reach out to someone for help. In lieu of flowers, please feel free to make a donation in Verne's name to either of his two favorite charities, the Starkey Hearing Foundation and Best Buddies. I didn't really know much about him beyond just him being Mini-Me from the Austin Powers movies. But, it kind of got to me because I liked Mini-Me a lot as a fucking character. They actually did, I read today, they did a test version of the second Austin Powers movie where Mini-Me actually is killed at some point.
And people hated it, right?
And the test audiences were just like, nope, Mini-Me should not die. And
I kind of agree with them.
They spared it. They spared him for that reason. And he was one of the best things in the third one, so that's good because they kind of turned him into like mini Austin Powers in it and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was like such a cool fucking character actor and shit. It's too bad his life was cut short.
Oh, TJ.
Sorry, I've seen like 30,000 people make that joke, so I just had to try it myself. I don't feel good about it, but I did it,
I remember the reason I thought he was dead for so long is because I remember when I tuned in. The last thing I saw of him was he was on some reality show. I think it was Big Brother or something. And
I know he did a celebrity rehab thing at some point.
No, because this one there was definitely no rehab because the memorable thing about it was how drunk he would get.
Yeah.
He would just get so wasted that he would literally turn into like a dog that was trying to hump the legs of women and shit.
That's awesome.
Like he would fucking grab onto them and just like smiling the whole time. So Verne liked to drink for sure.
Can't send much, but fucking love and support your channel. Keep doing you. Thanks, man. It's pretty fucking crazy. He was like 2'8", something like that.
He's a tiny dude, and it didn't look like it was very fun being him either.
No, he was confined to a wheelchair for a lot of the end of his life.
Probably in a lot of pain and shit.
Yeah, I mean, his body was not. I mean, no one's meant to be 2'8".
No.
And he drank a lot to self-medicate, deal with the pain he was going through. So, I mean, it's not really surprising that it came to the point where he just couldn't take it anymore. I don't really begrudge him.
Yeah, I don't either, man.
His suicide.
At some point, you gotta fucking pull the ripcord when you're in constant pain and agony and shit. And I imagine, like I said, his life was one that was typified by a lot of pain. So
quality of life was not great. I was so pissed when I went over to the men's rights subreddit, because sometimes there's good stories over there. I even actually pulled a few, I think, but they were trying to make his death about fucking he was a man and then he died. You know, it's like, I don't think that his gender had much to do with anything. You know,
I mean, other than the fact that he had a dick and balls, but like, let's judge him on the merits of what he did. And
yeah, I mean,
shit.
like, I don't think he killed himself because, you know, it's so hard being a man in today's society or anything like that.
I mean, he probably killed himself because it's hard to be a like tiny little midget man in today's society.
Yeah, especially one whose body is failing him and who has to self-medicate with alcohol and shit. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I thought he was great in those roles. I mean, you know, it wasn't like he was only funny because he was really tiny, because they could have just got any real tiny dude and it probably would have worked okay. But the fact that he had like such great comedic timing and expressions, and you know, he just really played the shit out of that role. It's like when we watched Dark Side of Oz and you were just like feeling so much like I guess empathy or whatever with the Munchkins, and you were just like so happy for them and shit, like, wow, this is great, they fucking get to do something special, and they're fucking like hyper enthusiasm, like, yeah, for once the spotlight is on us in a positive way, you know.
Yeah, you could just feel it radiating off of them, you know, with the help of LSD. You know what I mean? Maybe you can watch that scene and see it still, you know what I mean? They're just kind of vibrating with pride at being featured in something in a way that wasn't just making fun of them, you know? But yeah, it's gotta suck, man. It's really gotta suck to be, you know, not only so different that you're getting stared at everywhere you fucking go, but to also just suffer with that.
And then being a celebrity on top of it, too,
right?
You know, I mean, like, he was already like, whoa, look at that little guy. But then it's like when he's mini-me, people are probably shouting lines at the movie to him for, you know, I will call him Mini-Me and all this, and he's got to deal with that day in, day out. Like, okay, yeah, I was Mini-Me, thanks. I remember.
Right, and then he did that in the movie, but with a person that's like 2 foot and change tall, it's kind of insulting to call them Mini-Me in their real life, you know. And he probably every time he went somewhere, some fucking thoughtless douchebag,
Mini-Me,
just like, oh,
Mini-Me. I'll be honest with you, I could see myself, if I was drunk, being like,
oh, yeah.
Mini-Me.
I mean, me too.
Yeah, you know. It's hard. Man, I'd have drank with Mini-Me, though, dude. I'd have fucking clinked a glass with that dude. I fucking lied on my Twitter and said, like, I knew him and we jet skied together and shit. I mean,
yeah, dude.
You know.
He's worth making up a lie about.
Yeah, you know, I knew Verne Troyer. We were friends. He was a sweet guy. No, he really did seem like a cool dude. I don't know. I got good vibes off the motherfucker, so I'm kind of sad he's gone. But, you know, I can understand his fucking predicament. Next thing. Oh, this is another real laugh riot of a fucking story right here.
Awesome.
Christian girl set alight for turning down Muslim man's marriage proposal.
Should have said yes, bitch.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't say no to a Muslim.
Yeah, you never say no to a Muslim. Ban TJ, love you, Paul. Damn, dude. All right, fine.
Fuck.
I guess I'll just go then.
Yeah, TJ's fucking out of here.
I'll just go.
All right, I'll take the reins. Look at this broad's burnt up face. Wow, man, you guys were mean to TJ. When he comes back, you need to apologize. I'm being dead serious, man. I know TJ likes to put up this front that he's, you know, kind of an edgelord that don't give a shit about nothing, but he's a sensitive guy at the center, okay? If you get through the hard candy layers of TJ, there is a soft chocolatey Tootsie Roll center at the center of that. And you guys just hurt his little Tootsie Roll center. All right, TJ, I think they're ready to be nice to you now.
Yeah, it's about time. About time I get some fucking respect. A Christian girl was set ablaze by a Muslim man, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. for refusing to renounce her faith and marry him. Oh, that's all she had to do? Just renounce her fucking faith and marry the dude? I mean,
Not
come
asking
on.
for miracles here.
I mean, that's a pretty reasonable request. According to the girl's father, Yaqub Masih, his 25-year-old daughter, Asma, used to work as a domestic help at the house of Saduz Zaman in Mohalla Pakpura. Can these countries get some fucking easier?
Oh my God, that sentence.
Goddamn names.
Sahid Zaman in Mohalla Pakpura area in Sixkalat. It's like
Sialkot? I don't know. So, I don't know what much. I mean, it's just fucked up. I mean, like, this show's called Abandoned Hope for a fucking reason. I tend to pick stories that are really dark and really just make you feel bad about your own humanity.
So how did he? Oh, it says there he just threw gas in her face.
Yeah, he just threw gas on her and lit her on fucking fire, dude.
Jesus.
On April 17th, my son Maksud and I went to Zaman's house around to meet Asma and to inquire after the health of Zaman's mother. We were sitting in a room when there was a knock at the front gate. Asma went out to see who had come. When after some time we heard her screaming in pain, Zaman, Maksud, and I rushed outside to see what would happen and saw the accused, Rizwan Gujar, fleeing from the scene while Asma was engulfed in flames. They took her to the hospital. I guess this guy had been trying for some time to force her into getting married to him, but she didn't want to do it. It says she didn't want to. It says she didn't want to convert to Islam. So it was like the main thing was like her faith, not wanting this guy's dick, I guess. Talking to Pakistan Today, Masih said that he had retired from the Mesil Municipal Authorities, Sialkot, a few years ago, and his 10 children were now providing livelihood for the family. Sub-Inspector Muhammad Riaz of the Civil Lines Police said that they had arrested Gujar and he had confessed to his crime. We have prepared a charge sheet and sent him to jail, he added. Meanwhile, Asma is currently being treated in the burns unit at Lahore's Mayo Hospital, where her condition is stated to be critical. Asma has suffered 80% burn injuries on her face and body, said Masih, I don't know, demanding exemplary punishment for the accused. You fucking racist, who are you to judge their culture?
I gotta agree with this guy, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like,
they didn't see how fucking Asma was walking around in that burqa, showing off that sensual little area between the bridge of her nose and the brow ridge right there, you know what I mean? I mean, any man would be driven to absolute sex-crazy madness by that.
The thing is, too, if you have burns over 80% of your body, you're probably going to die.
I mean, yeah, especially if you're in fucking Lahore.
Yeah, sooner rather than later, she's probably not. I mean, she's not ultimately going to survive this. She might live a year or two if she's lucky, but she's going to be dead.
If she doesn't die, the next 3 or 4 years of her life are going to be agony. Yes. Agony, an agonizing procession of transplants and fucking grafts.
And there's not going to be any more marriage proposals in her future, but maybe that's a relief at this point.
Yeah, at this point, her first one didn't go so well, so maybe that'll be a blessing for her. But she's not going to look good ever again.
Yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't matter, like, if she does live through this ordeal, it doesn't matter what surgery she gets and shit, she's going to look like a severe burn victim.
Yep. Because
that's exactly what she is. Yeah, just like man, fuck humanity. Fuck the world, abandon hope. That's pretty much what this show's about.
I guess so, yeah.
Abandon your stupid fucking hope because you live in a world where this is happening. I want to taste TJ's Tootsie Roll Center no matter how many licks it takes. What the hell is going on?
Oh, I told them that you had a hard candy shell that you like to put out to the world, but at the center of it there was a nice little candy Tootsie Roll.
Oh, like my little soft underbelly.
Yeah. That dude wants to lick your
What happened to the guy?
Roll.
Apparently he's going to jail. I don't know for how long. This story doesn't tell us if, he's been sentenced. I don't know what sort of justice system exists.
You probably never will either. This is the last time this will be covered anywhere.
Yeah, there's probably not going to be a follow-up story that tells us, what happened here. But, clearly this is not a great day for anybody involved in this situation.
I can imagine he's probably going to a very, very scary prison for quite some time. So
yeah, I mean, he just literally. I mean, even in Islamic countries, it's kind of frowned upon to set women on fire. So. Usually, depending on the country, depending on who the guy is that did it.
And what the woman did.
Obviously, Christians are kind of persecuted in some of these countries. I don't know what this is from. Is Lahore the country? I've never even heard of it.
I think Lahore is in India, right? Okay,
so it's a Indian province of some kind. So I don't know what I don't know what the religious makeup of the area is. I don't know how predominant Muslims are where she lives. So we'll have to see. We probably never will because, like I said, there's usually not ever follow-ups to this sort of thing. This is kind of fun. Trump plans to spend millions from federal budget to fund abstinence-only sexual education programs. That woman is hot.
Oh,
damn,
shit,
dude.
Doom Kid. That's not kosher, man.
Edgy old Doom Kid, man.
Keeping it edgy. So he's going to flush millions of taxpayer dollars down a
right
toilet.
Down the fucking toilet, dude.
That doesn't work. I really wish that conservative people in this country would figure out that teenage kids are going to fuck no matter what you tell them.
It's almost like they have some sort of natural instinct.
Yeah, it's almost like they have a biological imperative that's driving them to do such things. And so knowing the incontrovertible fact that since the dawn of time, teenagers have been fucking and they're going to continue to do so, maybe we ought to just, send them some condoms and make it easier for them to get fucking birth control.
Fuck you guys, here's money. I just don't understand. There's so many things that are just not tackled honestly in school, like drugs are never tackled honestly. It's always like, if you do a drug, you're going to just die on the spot, and they do all these big exaggerations of all these horrible consequences that are inevitably going to follow if you do certain things. And, when the kids realize that's bullshit, they dismiss everything they were taught. We've seen that these abstinence-only education programs, like, a lot of times these girls pledge to maintain their virginity and then they're just getting fucked in the ass.
Yeah.
A lot of times, places that try this kind of shit have way higher teen pregnancy rates than places that just tell kids the fucking truth about sex. So, it's just a waste of fucking tax dollars. And we're talking about millions of dollars from the federal budget funding this stupid bullshit, which, by the way, totally has its basis in religion.
Oh, yeah.
There's no basis in science. There's no basis in fucking fact whatsoever. And we dealt with this kind of stupid bullshit when Bush was in office, and now it's just back. And I also love that it's coming from Trump, the grab him by the pussy guy, the I don't even wait guy, the porn star, the I'm going to fuck this porn star and then pay her off to shut up guy. The dude who obviously has a crush on his own daughter. Trump is a fucking sex-crazed goddamn maniac, and he's going to tell these kids, nope, abstinence only, wait till marriage.
Yeah, because he did, definitely.
Yeah, wait till you're married, then you can fuck all the women you want. That's about it. That's about the closest Trump gets to waiting to marriage, man.
This is just a total... I can't even believe that there are adults out there asking the government to implement shit like this. Because, even if they believe that this is the way things should be done, can't they look at the studies that show that this is just an abject failure wherever it's implemented? The teen pregnancy rate either stays exactly the same or rises.
Why can't the parents who want this sort of thing try to indoctrinate their own damn kids? Why do they have to use tax dollars to indoctrinate everyone's kids to think this bullshit?
Yeah, that's part of the problem with the way people perceive education, because they give their kids to this, school for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and they act like they don't have way more influence on their children than anybody at that school does. So, if you want your kids to wait until marriage, then tell them that at home. Why does Donald Trump got to pay a bunch of money for some pseudo-Christian speaker to come to the school and tell you about how wonderful it is to wait to have sex? It's just not going to happen. It just if anything, talking to kids about sex and telling them they have to put it off, they have to wait, that just titillates the mind. It makes you want to go do that shit more.
Yeah, let's make it more taboo. That'll fucking stop them. Well, this is terrible news. The Trump administration announced it will reallocate federal funding to support abstinence-focused sexual education programs for teenagers. It was just 2 years ago when Obama removed federal funding from abstinence-only programs, but now Trump is undoing that. So this is basically like another, fuck you, Obama. I'm undoing your legacy, even the parts that made sense.
Yep.
You know, I mean, like, what a fucking petty dirtbag piece of shit. Gonna waste tax dollars on this stupid shit that's been proven time and time again, study after study, that it doesn't work, that all it does is lead to more teen sex, that all it does is lead to higher rates of fucking teen pregnancy.
I mean, it just goes to show that all these people that thought they were electing a game changer when they elected Donald Trump just elected a slightly stupider than usual Republican.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's a pretty fair assessment at this fucking point.
Yep. I mean, like, you know, all that talk about how he was going to drain the swamp and shit. And here he is just chasing the same stupid dead-end roads that every fucking Republican tries to chase when it comes to social policy.
Yeah, this video was demonetized before I even started streaming.
Oh,
Welcome to YouTube. Of course it was. It's me. So, of course it was demonetized automatically. No, that's just the demonetization is just how I live my life, bitch. It's demonetized style up in here. But man, you know, someone in the chat was saying, thanks, Mike Pence. Yeah, you know what? I can see Mike Pence's fucking fingerprints in this bullshit for sure. Because, you know, Trump is not concerned about this shit. You know?
I mean, I don't think
other
Trump's
than just
concerned really genuinely about most of the shit that he talks about.
Yeah, just like, yeah, what does my stupid voter base want now?
What
yeah,
am I
yeah,
supposed to care about at this rally? Okay.
Yeah, I care about that. Let me tell you something about sex. I grab them by the pussy, but I would never fuck the pussy until I marry the pussy. It's like, oh my God. Trump, yeah. Trump. Oh. Yeah, he's a dumb shit. Love your stuff, guys. I guess that's going to pop up on the screen in a minute if Streamlabs decides to work. So let's see if it does. Come on, Streamlabs. You can do it. You can do it, Streamlabs. You can do it. Oh. All right, well, we'll just move on in the meantime. Hopefully that'll pop up in a moment. Naked man punching cars in Publix parking lot had only one beer.
That seems plausible.
Yeah, you know, because you know what, man? One beer is clearly... it doesn't seem like it's popping up via Streamlabs, so I'm just going to read it here.
All right.
Love your guys' stuff. You hear Jimmy Dore is going to try and sue CNN for that smear article he was mentioned in with pedos. Covered it on my own channel. Shameless plug. Lol. Screw CNN. Yeah, I told Paul about that earlier, actually. Yeah, they fucking were saying... They were trying... It was a YouTube... It was a CNN article in quotation marks. 'Cause it wasn't really an article. What it was just a brazen attempt to get advertisers to flee YouTube so that they'll return to other markets like television where CNN makes most of its money. So that they, you know, because they can pay, they pay a lot more for the TV ads, you know.
Tired of seeing your ads pop up on videos by pedophiles like Jimmy Dore? Come on back to TV, the wasteland nobody's watching.
It was just this bizarre thing because there was all these Nazis. I guess there was some pedophiles, and there was all kinds of these like Al Qaeda shit and ISIS shit,
and Jimmy Dore,
then just Jimmy Dore.
Stupid ass CNN.
It's like, what?
I hope he does sue their fucking stupid asses, dude.
If I was the judge, I'd fucking give it to him. I hope Jimmy Dore gets rich from CNN's
I don't even like Jimmy Dore, dude. I don't even like the spitting cobra Jimmy Dore. The manlet that walks up to people and spits on them and then runs away like a cowardly little bitch. And yet, you know, I'll defend him before I defend CNN for this shit. What a sad ploy. That's
he's not an extremist.
That's almost like the level of fucking like Andy Dick begging people to check him out and have their kids watch his shit. You know what I mean? It's like CNN's like, please guys, remember us? Remember us? Come on back. Bring your ad dollars back this way. Never mind the fact nobody's watching us. Just come on, man. We're safe. We never say nigger. We never make any off-color jokes, and there's definitely no pedophiles at CNN.
Just Anderson Cooper, the lovable homosexual.
It's just like, no, nobody wants to advertise on your shit because nobody wants to watch your shit, CNN.
CNN sucks. If I agree with Trump on one thing, it's that CNN is fake news. So anyway, naked man punching cars in Publix parking lot had only one beer. Here's the guy.
That looks like a one beer face.
Yeah, he looks like a one beer sort of chap, doesn't he?
Yeah, just one. You want another one, sir? No, no, one's
I've
enough.
had one. I'm gonna go
punch some cars
to the
now.
parking lot. I'm gonna just go unload on these cars real quick. Shoppers at one Publix grocery store parking lot got quite a sight in Vero Beach, Florida. Of course, Florida. On Thursday night, Jonathan Bowitcher, I don't know, 46, was allegedly jumping on cars, punching cars, and kicking over trash cans in the parking lot, all while naked, according to an arrest report from the Indian River County Sheriff's Department obtained by Oxygen.com. When police arrived, Botcher was allegedly sweating uncontrollably, swinging his arms, and yelling with a pair of basketball shorts bunched up around his ankles. Police said he was screaming, "I only had one beer, and I only wanted to smoke some pot." Well, we've all been there.
Yeah, dude. I want one beer, and I want to smoke some pot right now. I want more than one beer.
Only one beer, though. That's all he had. Because that sounds like the fucking...
That's definitely one beer behavior.
It says he also explained why he took his clothes off, so there's a logical explanation. Botcher said there was a perfectly reasonable explanation for taking off his clothing. A friend drove by and mooned him, so he was merely mooning him back. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense, you know?
And I forgot to pull my pants up after the moon, officer.
After I mooned my friend, I decided to smash some cars and jump on them and cry and scream about how I only had one beer. Just wanted some pot. I just had one beer.
Everybody's been there, dude. You go to the local watering hole hoping to have a sip or two of beer, and you end up finishing the whole thing. It's like, oh shit. It's going to be a wild night tonight.
I'm in for a fucking wild ride now, dude.
Probably going to wake up in a fucking drunk tank tomorrow.
It was only a 1 gallon beer, officer. You know? I had a mere gallon of beer. Some of the chat said I always forget my pants too, you know. This is a common problem. You're walked into a fucking restroom and there's some dude pissing in the urinal with his pants all the way down.
Yeah, what is that about?
I'm never ready for that to happen, you know. Luckily, it's a pretty rare occurrence, but sometimes you walk in and there's just some man ass and he's just like,
It's like, why, dude?
I don't know if you've noticed, but like no one else needs to fucking remove their pants entirely to take a piss. Is this some kind of like weird like gay invitation thing, like, hey, if you want to come up behind me while I'm taking a piss and plow my asshole or something, feel free?
I mean, that shit was weird back in like grade school when you'd walk in to take a piss and there'd be one of the kids had the, you know what I mean? Like, that shit's already weird when you're like 6. Like a grown-ass man doing it, that's just never a welcome sight when you walk into a fucking shitter.
Oh yeah, dude. No good, no bueno. I hate that shit, dude. I mean, luckily that's a pretty fucking rare occurrence. Like, I can't even remember the last time it fucking happened, but it's no fucking bueno. I can tell you that much.
He did a whole beer, dude.
One whole beer.
Fucking beer.
I mean,
Never
how do
once.
you even survive? How do you even survive? Woman cuts off ex-husband's penis and testicles as he lay asleep on sofa after turning up drunk demanding sex.
Oops.
Here she is. This is, I think, in Russia. Or it might be the Ukraine or something. And she gives a little wink to the camera, too, like, yeah, I'm not ashamed of what I've done.
Пыталась скрыть свое лицо. Именно ее обвиняют в нанесении тяжкого вреда здоровью бывшему супругу. Сегодня по этому делу в Зеленодольске стартовал закрытый процесс. Женщина полностью признала свою вину, и дело рассматривалось в особом порядке.
Blowing kisses and shit. He deserved it. He deserved it.
По данной статье...
He deserved it.
I don't know. I'm trying to translate.
A woman who used a large kitchen knife to chop off her ex-husband's penis and testicles has been jailed for 4 years. Lyra Plaxina claimed she severed his manhood after he appeared at her home drunk and demanding sex. The 47-year-old Russian woman told the court her husband would beat her and she had acted in self-defense, but the judge decided she had severed the 44-year-old man's penis and scrotum as he was lying asleep on her couch in her village home. He also suffered an injury to the right hip. I don't think he cares about the hip injury.
Yeah, the hip injury is probably not his biggest concern.
Like the fact that his cock and balls have been chopped off, that's probably the bigger concern.
I remember wondering this when this happened here in America back in the 90s. You remember Lorena Bobbitt?
Yeah, of course.
Like, I always wondered, because, like, think about it. Okay, she went and got a kitchen knife.
Yeah.
Like, even if that shit is the sharpest fucking kitchen knife ever, how did, like... I would think she'd get just a little way into the cock and balls, and then he'd wake up and punch her in the fucking face or some shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
according to her, he was drunk, so maybe the drunkenness was kind of like a
anesthesia.
Anesthetic,
I guess. I mean, I always wondered that about Bobbitt too. It's just like, unless she had like a samurai sword where she just grabbed the dick and was like, chink.
At least she spared his balls, though, too. Lorena Bobbitt. She chopped off his dick, but she let him keep his balls.
I mean, she basically gave him a porn career with that little stunt, because he got his dick sewn back on and then did a bunch of porn movies as like the dude whose dick was not always attached. You know what I mean? I guess people wanted to see that shit. But yeah, this dude's fucked. I don't think you can sew your balls back on. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no good. No, I think if his balls were sewn back on, it would have been mentioned in here. I scrolled through the story trying to see if there was any sort of indication that he'd gotten his balls returned to him, his cock returned to him. Apparently not.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Medical science is crazy these days, but I gotta feel like if she severed his whole fucking like balls and scrotum and shit off,
yeah,
there's probably no reattaching that.
Only
shit.
4 years for that too. Just kind of like, well, 4 years.
Maybe that was like in deference to her story that he was an abuser or some shit.
He was sleeping on the couch. If this was self-defense, then, I don't understand how you could really chop someone's balls and dick off in self-defense.
What about like battered woman's defense? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what they all, that's, but what bitch couldn't claim that, Like, if he chopped her tits off or something, I don't think he could be like, well, she hit me, and
definitely not.
Gets away with it. Well, that makes sense. This is a vindictive, cruel, insane act, and she's obviously not the least bit sorry for it. Maybe he's a real shitbag. I don't fucking know. But, man, 4 years seems super light to me.
For ruining a person's fucking life, basically.
Chopping off a dude's dick and balls to the point where now his, there's like a huge, like that dude's got to sit down to piss from now on.
That would suck, but think about it. She might have done him a favor. No more worrying about pussy. No more bullshit. You know what I mean? All that's gone now. He doesn't have to deal with all that drama anymore. He can go on and improve himself.
He's going to improve himself now.
We should all cut our balls off, dude. I'm starting to agree with Marshall Applewhite, dude.
You're going to join the Heaven's Gate cult?
Yeah. Everybody go out and chop your balls off right now. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. We're going to make a pact here and now. Everyone got to chop their dick and balls off.
You guys go first, though, okay?
Yeah, all of the chat, you go first, and then me and Paul are going to follow suit.
We just want to make sure you're serious.
Shortly thereafter. Did the guy admit he demanded? I don't see anything in the article to indicate what his admissions were or what his side of the story was. The judge apparently agreed that he was asleep when it happened. So the judge's like, yeah, he was sleeping when you cut his dick and balls off. 4 years. And she's just like, mwah, like that's cool. What a sick world we live in. Invest in eternal life beyond the grave, not in this fallen world. Okay.
Yeah. My balls are not useless, dude. They still, provide, like, the sexual hormones and shit that make me a man. Like, I still need my balls, Dude,
did you read about that story? It was a few years back. They did the first successful penis transplant in China. There was a dude, he lost his dick in some kind of accident, and they did a successful penis transplant where they were able to get him a new dick. And his wife didn't like it, so he had them remove it.
What?
Yeah, I was like, dude, that dude must love his wife a whole hell of a lot. Because, like, I'd be like, if I fucking lost my dick and then I got it back, like, I don't even have much dick in the first place. But if I lost what little I fucking had and then I somehow got it back, maybe I'd even upgrade dicks, you know? Like, the donor dick is bigger than my dick was in the first place. I'm like, you know, this all worked out. And then, you know, my girlfriend or my wife or whoever I'm with is like, you know what? I don't like it. I would not be like, well, it's okay. Well, it's got to go then. I'd be like, well, you got to get out of here then.
Yeah, sorry.
This is my new dick. Get used to it.
Yeah, I wonder if they were like, do they have to find a dick that's, you know, pretty much the same size as yours, or can they do like a full upgrade? Can they just install like a BBC on you, dude?
I have no fucking clue, dude. I really don't know. I don't know much about dick transplants, but we can do the research. We can find out.
Because, man, I might have a fucking terrible accident here pretty soon. If
Oops.
that's the case. Oh, shit, I accidentally chopped my dick off.
Just make sure there's a big dick. You know what? Find a fucking trans person or well, they gotta fucking use parts of their dick to fashion the
Yeah,
pussy,
they cut it all open and shit.
So yeah, you can't really that.
take their dick.
Damn. So close, but so far.
You just gotta watch the newspapers and wait until right after somebody died that you think has a real big dick.
Yeah.
And then
make sure they're an organ donor.
Yeah, make sure they're an organ donor, and then, you know, go in and go, oh God, I accidentally cut my dick off. I want that dude's dick. I want that dude's big fat dick.
Yeah, like just keep waiting for the day Ron Jeremy dies. Go to the hospital where he fucking is.
Yep.
You're like, I cut my dick off. There's got to be another donor dick around here somewhere. Please, please. Yeah, pretty crazy shit though. Abandon hope. Chicago woman gets 3 years in Facebook live beating of mentally disabled teens. So this is yet another woman with a light sentence for a pretty crazy crime. Fuck you. I ain't allowing shit. You know, this was a big famous story. You'll remember this at the time. You know, these 4
kids that like tortured a retarded kid.
Yeah, these 4 black kids. They fucking cornered some white retarded kid basically, and like tortured him over the course of like a fucking couple days or a whole day or some shit. They fucking were like, "You're a Trump supporting piece of shit," and they were beating on him. You know, people were kind of like, you know, this is like aggravated kidnapping, hate crime, aggravated unlawful restraint, aggravated battery, deadly weapon. 3 years
seems a little bit light.
Seems kind of just a little bit on the light side for those crimes. I mean, given our society, like, you know, I've heard of stories of people like going to jail for fucking like 20 years because they stole a piece of pizza on their 3rd strike.
Yeah.
In one of these stupid 3-strike states. But the group of fucking teenagers who literally kidnap and torture somebody and threaten to kill them and put them through a fucking like hell. This shit's not old news because the bitch was just sentenced, you retard. The sentencing is new news. That's an update in an old case, you stupid fucking faggot.
Holy shit.
I see we got a few Streamlabs here that didn't come through. Someone said, fuck Trump, teach safe sex, not religious-based abstinence. Another person said, I remember a similar story about a woman who chopped off her husband's penis while he was sleeping because he had cheated on her. So yeah, some pretty crazy shit going on in this wacky world of ours.
I mean, we could even take some of the abstinence shit and weave it into a fucking thing that would work. Because some of that shit is true. Like, we just got to go with, like, make every fucking teenage kid do that thing where they carry around one of those robotic babies and shit for 2 weeks.
Yeah, this could be you.
Yep.
This could be you.
I'm telling you, dude, that and the fact that I was a pudgy, troll-looking little fucking fat kid kept me from fucking...
I think it was probably more that
pudgy
second thing.
You think so?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because, man, I think that if I'd have wanted it, dude, there's probably a bunch of chicks out there.
Go ahead and
that
test
would've.
my alerts, make sure Streamlabs is still working.
Looks like it is.
Hopefully. Sometimes Streamlabs can be a little finicky. I struggle with it a lot. It used to work like a fucking charm. Lately, it's a piece of shit. So I'm trying to get it working again. I think they said that sometimes you just got to like disconnect it and reconnect it to your account. So I'm probably going to go do that at some point. But yeah, if you send one through Streamlabs and for some reason it doesn't appear as an alert, I will see it here in the recent events tab of Streamlabs. Trump shuns Democrats and media at first state dinner. So these state dinners are usually an affair where the media is involved and both parties are involved. Trump's basically turned it into a partisan suck fest where everyone there is going to be one of his sycophants.
So this is one of like the few times that both sides get together and they're like, look, even though we're on the other sides of the issue, let's kind of get to know each other a little bit. Let's mix and mingle.
Mix and mingle in a casual setting.
Maybe, build some relationships that might lead to building some bridges between our two sides. I mean, these are a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And now it's just oh, my people sit over here. All your people sit over there.
I sent a Streamlabs and the shit didn't show. I just read yours. The one I read was from you.
You good.
So you good, bitch. You good. Yeah, so I mean, just an example of Trump's fucking pettiness and shit. It's not a big story. It really doesn't matter. I don't care about the sanctity of this state dinner. But, it's just kind of lame that, usually this is a bipartisan sort of event where everybody's invited. But this time it's like, nah.
Nah, just people that like me.
Just me and my Republican fucking sycophants. My little lap doggies.
What we need is more like partisanship and gridlock in Washington, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and what happened to all of his little fanboys being the ones that were always like, safe space, safe space? I mean, what the fuck is this?
It's only a safe space if somebody you disagree with does it. Oh. It's only a hug box if it's somebody who you disagree with fundamentally. If somebody that you don't disagree with doing it, they're just... Who would want those liberal cucks around anyway?
If you look at how the Democrats and the media treat Trump, you would understand why he doesn't want to be around them. They hurt his feelings. Real bad.
If Trump was any kind of a fucking diplomat, he'd use events like this to change people's minds about him if he was capable of such a thing. Show him a little bit of the real Trump, humanize himself a little bit, but no. Nope, just gonna fucking shove another wedge in between the people that, are responsible for getting shit done.
I think Trump should start like a cervical cancer charity or something and be like, grab cancer by the pussy.
There you go, man.
Show them another side. Flip it around on
Turn
them.
lemons into lemonade, Trump. Come on.
When fucking political strife gives you lemons.
I guess turn oranges into orange juice doesn't work because oranges are pretty good before they're orange juice, but it fits Trump better.
Why? Because he's orange?
Yes.
Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me.
But he loves Macron, dude.
Yeah, that was weird.
What's up with that, man?
Yeah, you never really would have thought. They're like a Hollywood power couple, dude.
I just think it shows you like the power of having a little bit of power and washing Trump's balls, which should be a scary thing for everybody. Like just the ability of another foreign head of state to get in the mind of Trump by sucking his dick. You know what I mean? Because there's no way that Macron and Trump should be getting along.
But yet they do. Well, that just shows what a great diplomat Trump really is, dude.
Yeah.
You can decide to have cervical cancer? What? Who implied that? Who implied that, sir? No one implied that. Woman guilty of racist snap dog rap lyric Instagram post. Okay. A teenager who posted rap lyrics which included racist language on Instagram has been found guilty of sending a grossly offensive message.
What?
Chelsea Russell, 19, from Liverpool, posted the lyric from Snapdog. Who the fuck is Snapdog?
Who cares?
Anyway, from Snapdog's I'm Trippin' to pay tribute to a boy who had died in a road crash, a court heard. Russell argued it was not offensive, but was handed a community order. Prosecutors said her sentence was increased from a fine to a community order as it was a hate crime. So this whole thing with Count Dankula, where he was charged with a hate crime for getting his pug to do the Nazi salute to annoy his girlfriend, that's not some one-off thing. That's like the UK is seriously buying into this shit. where now even the slightest, like, she didn't even make an offensive joke. She was trying to pay tribute to someone who died with lyrics to a song they probably liked that was probably written by a fucking black dude, but because it said nigga in it, now she going to jail. I mean, she's not going to jail. She's getting community service, but still.
You guys got to sort your shit out over there, Britain.
Yeah, I mean, like, I thought you guys were doing this whole Brexit thing and shit so that you could fix these problems. I don't know. Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Oh, I hate how they say that in fucking Fallout New Vegas. Grossly offensive, that's what they called this shit. Liverpool Justice Center, sitting at Sefton Magistrates Court, heard Russell posted the lyrics to her account after the death of a 13-year-old in a road accident in 2017, the Crown Prosecution Service said. The words Russell used on her account contained a racial label, which some people find extremely offensive. The screenshot was passed to hate crime unit PC Dominique Walker. Whoever reported them was a piece of shit, too,
Whoever reported them is a piece of shit, and the fact that there's somebody working in law enforcement in Britain whose job it is to look at screenshots from people's social media and decide whether or not it's offensive, you guys got to sort your shit out, man. Like, you guys think Muslims invading you is the problem? You guys have got your priorities fucked up. You're rotting from the inside out if people are getting arrested for retweeting. Like, it's not even she was, like, went on a tirade against black people or some shit.
Here is some money for Fatty, thanks.
She posted fucking lyrics?
Yeah, to a song. To a song. To a fucking song. I'm going to look up this Snapdog dude, because I'm pretty sure he's probably a black dude.
Snapdog. I don't know. You never know with these Brits, man. They like their little white chav rappers over there.
No, he's a black dude.
He's a black dude. Well, there you go.
He a black guy. Here he is. Right there.
So, why aren't they like, I assume Snapdog's music is for sale in the UK. Why aren't they arresting his ass?
Because he black.
Oh, so he can say it.
Yes.
This is just stupid, double standard fucking nonsense.
So prosecutor Angela Conlon said Russell's defense also argued her profile wasn't public, but it has been proved in court that anyone could access it and see the offensive language. You guys...
More people are seeing that fucking post.
You guys have got to get your shit in order.
Like, do they think that they're shoving shit like this underground by putting it in the fucking media and prosecuting people for it? Nobody would have read that stupid Instagram post except for the, 15, 20 people that fucking follow this girl?
Yes.
And now it's a national news story. Good job, guys. Way to stamp out that fucking speech that you don't like by broadcasting it everywhere, drawing attention to it. Just ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys need to do some V for Vendetta shit at this point.
Yeah, dude. It's time for the 5th of November.
You're at the fucking guy. You're in Guy Fawkes territory when the government is arresting people for fucking this kind of shit. I mean, this is beyond absurd.
This is thought crime bullshit.
This shit in America would not fly. You guys...
Not yet, at least.
Yeah, at least not yet. At least not yet.
We're definitely moving towards this shit, though. Americans reading this shouldn't be, like, totally fucking unconcerned.
Yeah, you might be looking like 10, 15 years into your fucking future at this point.
We've seen some worrying shit going on just in the past year with this Me Too movement and the public trial for alleged events and shit that goes on.
You were accused, therefore you're guilty.
Yeah.
That's like, all you need now.
If you don't see what's spooky about that, then I don't know what to tell you, man. You deserve what's coming, I guess.
This is the butt of the day. A lot of people got mad that I stopped doing butt of the day. So I put this in there to appease those people.
That is a fucking nice butt, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the butt of the day if it wasn't.
Dude, I would eat a mile-long turd of hers just to see where it came from.
Okay. A little bit much for me.
I would kill every person on this planet just to be that fucking concrete for 1 second, dude.
I'd rather be the thong.
All right, well, you can be the thong. I'll be the concrete.
It's all up in the crack and shit. That's good. I don't know if it's butt of the year, but it's a nice fucking ass. Like, you know...
That's a pleasingly shaped ass, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, like, it fucking, the way it hangs over the concrete a little bit. And
Yeah, it's got a little shadow underneath it,
yeah,
so you know
see
that there's
nice
some
shadow. You see the depth
Yeah.
of the booty.
It's a very symmetrical booty too. Those butt cheeks just look like somebody copy and pasted them. Just flip horizontally and copy and paste that booty cheek over there.
Oh yeah.
Ain't no blemishes on that booty cheek. I even like that. As far as I can see, there's one little drip of water.
Yeah, that little
kind of
water
running
drop.
down the crack of that ass, dude.
How much would you pay to drink that little drop?
Oh man, dude, like I would fucking savor that like a thirsty man that's been wandering in the desert for 30 years, man.
Alex Jones has the nicest ass. The butt is too long. I think that's just a trick of your eye based on like how far up the thong is pulled.
Yeah, it's either a trick of your eye or a trick of the fact that you're a basement-dwelling retard that's never actually seen an ass anywhere close to this in person.
That's probably true as well.
Like, I mean, come on, there's being picky and then there's being retarded.
All right, so Texas 8th graders asked to list positives of slavery. This is in San Antonio. What do you think about the scandal of Lawrence Krauss? I mean, it's kind of what we were just talking about a minute ago, you know, just like, here's some spurious accusations. They must be true. I just think it's bullshit. I mean, I don't know if maybe he did some inappropriate shit, maybe he didn't, but I'm not willing to condemn anybody on the basis of some fucking accusations being lobbed by people who have a vested interest in an ideological agenda being pushed by fucking BuzzFeed.
Yeah,
and
if
shit.
a crime was committed, it's not my job to make up my mind about whether or not.
Why is this?
happens.
Why is this shit tried in public now? Like, why is all this a matter of like the court of public opinion? Like, if he did something wrong on a criminal level, then he should be charged with a fucking crime, and it should be proven, and he should go to jail for that.
Yeah, and if he didn't do something criminal, then you need to like.
Then who gives a shit?
Then who gives a shit? Or, I guess, use your influence to criminalize the behavior, but you can't try somebody for something that's not illegal. Hitting on a chick is not illegal last time I checked.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many of these stories that it's like, he made me uncomfortable because he hit on me. It's like, yeah, well, if he'd been fucking Brad Pitt, would you have felt the same fucking way, or whoever?
I mean, even if you would have, it's like the human species ceases to exist if people don't try and have sex with each other. It's just a natural biological process. And, yeah, it becomes a crime if he tries to force you to have sex with him.
Yeah, if fucking Lawrence Krauss grabs you by the throat, slams you up against a wall, and starts fucking grabbing your titties, like, yeah, you gonna give it up, bitch. I don't know. Then something, we got something to talk about at that point. But it's like Lawrence Krauss is like, hey, nice titties, want to bang? You know, he has every right to fucking commentate on your titties and ask to fuck you, and you have every right to say you're a creep. Fuck off.
Yeah, go eat a dick. Fuck you. I don't want to fuck you. There you go. Problem solved, right?
Yeah,
no.
And then everybody goes their own separate ways, and no one's careers or life is ruined.
I mean, just being around people makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm not looking to fucking legislate their behavior in public, though.
People are not allowed to be within 20 feet of me. Actually, that'd be pretty cool. Never mind. San Antonio. A San Antonio charter school has apologized after a teacher asked students in 8th grade American history class to list the positive and negative aspects of slavery. The Great Hearts Monte Vista teacher, who distributed the worksheet titled The Life of Slaves, A Balanced View, was placed on leave, and the school said it would audit the textbook associated with the lesson, said Aaron Kindle, the superintendent of Great Hearts, Texas, which operates 28 public charter schools in Texas and Arizona. To be clear, there is no debate about slavery. It is immoral and a crime against humanity, Kindle said in the statement posted Thursday, blah, 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 blah. We do not support the point of view represented in the worksheet and strongly condemn the implications that there was any positive aspect of slavery. Well, of course there was a positive aspect
This
of
is so
fucking slavery.
stupid. See, this is just like ignoring the truth of history. Now, maybe there was a better way
to phrase it,
to phrase this question, because I understand in general we all kind of have the consensus that slavery was a terrible idea and a bad thing and should never have happened. But it didn't just happen for no reason.
Yeah,
there
wasn't
were clear
like
economic benefits.
There was fucking benefits to slavery. That's why it's been used throughout history. I like when they try to rehash abstinence by saying it stops STD. I mean, it does, but it's kind of like saying you can avoid car crashes by never getting in a vehicle. But yeah, I mean, of course there were positive aspects to fucking slavery. Of course it was like, yeah, I mean, free labor from people who don't have any rights. If you're a fucking business owner, I mean, that's your fucking wet goddamn dream.
Yeah.
Look at what they try to get away with in America where they do have to pay their employees. It's like they give them the bare minimum scraps to fucking exist. This is like an even more severe version of that. So, I mean, if you're a big businessman, if you're a fucking plantation owner, of course slavery is fucking awesome. You know, to act like there was no reason. I mean, you're just erasing the reasons why slavery happened in the first place. It just seems like, no, it was only tantamount to cruelty. There was no pragmatic reason why it actually happened.
See, nothing is served by painting slavers as these unrepentant evil people, taking them completely out of the context of their times and shit. There's no understanding gained of the institution of slavery by trying to like retroactively change it into something that was just done because people was evil.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, you got to understand how these things come to happen. And in understanding that, you need to understand what the benefits were to Southern plantation owners in importing a free labor force.
What people really need to understand about it, in my opinion, is these are not fucking monsters. This is not some subhuman fucking species of demons that enslaved people. This is people just like you and me who did this.
Yep.
You're every bit as capable of fucking being part of something just as evil as slavery is.
Oh, yeah, dude. If you had been born fucking 200 years ago, you'd probably be a slaver yourself or wish you were one.
You know, and it's like today, I mean, like, people don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but like chocolate. Cocoa beans, a lot of like 60-70% of cocoa beans come from West Africa where they're picked by child slave labor and child, or near, either in slave conditions sometimes or near slave conditions where these kids are exposed to dangerous chemicals and shit, and it's horrendous. And, that's our chocolate that's on our shelves in our gas stations and shit. People are complicit with slavery.
Clothes and shoes are another...
sweatshops.
Yeah, clothes and shoes are another huge bit. Yeah, diamonds. I mean, like... I don't know, dude.
I mean, like, people act like, oh, well, it's so evil. American society would never exploit people like that today. Yes, it will, and yes, it does.
Take a look at the fucking
You're still
private
part of this kind of
prison
shit.
system. When business owners don't want to have to pay minimum wage to people, they've still got a labor force they can turn to for damn near free labor. It's called the prison system, and they do it all the time.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like trying to just be like, slavery was evil and it was pure evil and everyone who did it was pure evil is just, you're not presenting an accurate view of history. You're doing the same thing we talked about with the abstinence story or with the drug thing.
Before the Civil War, a few really super evil white people had the idea to take the poor innocent black people and make them work for nothing to no benefit.
For it's no good reason other than malice.
No, that's not how it happened, guys.
Sickening. But yeah, I mean, like, this teacher probably, whatever.
Yeah, there was definitely probably a better way to word the question there. Like, in the context of the times, what were the positive aspects of slavery for the people who engaged in it?
They'd probably still be in the same trouble.
Yeah.
So here's a tweet that I know this was getting a lot of attention. Ian Miles Chong retweeted it and had made his own commentary, but this is Zinnia Jones, who I knew from back in the old days of YouTube and shit. Used to be someone that you could have a conversation with. Now just like totally crazy, extreme SJW shit.
Oh, this is like ZJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I remember her from back in the day.
Yeah, well, now she's totally nuts. You go to her Twitter, it's just like total like hate, like this is stuff like, it's impossible for anti-SJWs to be polite because they're all evil and all this other stuff.
Wow.
Just totally buying into this false dichotomy, this fucking us or them worldview bullshit. This is a tweet that got a lot of attention. If Hitler was trans, it still wouldn't be okay to put Hitler in a men's prison or deny Hitler proper trans treatment. So, I mean, like, I responded to this tweet, too. I said, like, well, it'd still be okay to shoot him in the fucking head. And then I corrected myself. I said, okay, her in the fucking head.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you make of it? Because
I mean, this is a problem, right? Like to put on my anti-SJW hat and claim that she's barking about something that isn't a problem would be disingenuous.
Sure.
The way that people are treated in prison, full stop, is a major issue that it gets nowhere near the amount of fucking focus that it should. And I have to imagine that for trans people, it's doubly bad in prison.
Yeah, especially if you're, I mean, like going through, if you're already transitioned to because like there have been stories about like people who are basically transitioning into looking like women being so, well, you're still male, so you go into the men's prison. It's like, I don't, you know, it's kind of you know, you're going to be a fucking pretty soft target in there.
I mean, that's just like dooming you to be raped. I mean, it's honestly, sending people to prison, period, is almost assuredly dooming them to be raped or attempted raped or assaulted. You know what I mean? The shit that goes on in look, I'm fine with taking people out of society when they do something wrong and holding them there as punishment. That I understand the idea behind it, but I'm not with this, like, once you get sent to prison, your fucking rights evaporate and you're just a rape puppet for all the crazy sociopaths in the prison.
I don't agree. I mean, I agree with all of what you're saying, but when you take it to the level of Hitler, like, Hitler is just such a fucking extreme example. I don't know if I buy this, like, Hitler's rights need to be protected. Even Hitler. Like, I think there is a level of, like, no, you're a fucked up enough human being that you just deserve to be summarily fucking executed on the spot.
See, I don't know, man. I think that if you're going to
I don't even believe in capital punishment, and I would still fucking personally shoot Hitler in the fucking head.
I mean, yeah, especially during, you know, his reign of terror or whatever, you had that shot. But had we taken Hitler into custody, I would like to see Hitler tried for his crimes and sent to prison. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, I don't take him alive or her alive in this scenario.
Let's say that they did that. Let's say he surrendered. You know what I mean? He came out of his bunker and he's like, "Hello, okay, I'm done."
Waving the white flag.
Yeah, you take Hitler. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're not going to have a whole lot of deference for his life when he's responsible for the shit he was responsible for. But in terms of, like, once he's part of the justice system, however it exists internationally, I feel like you got to defer to that.
Sure.
But it's a stupid fucking example. It doesn't really help fucking trans people to invoke Hitler.
The thing is that whether you agree, whatever your feelings on how Hitler should have been treated or whatever, like in this hypothetical scenario, this is just so taking the fucking eye off of the prize of, like, hey, there's this fucked up shit going on in our prison system. But this is taking the focus away from that and into this territory of this wild, insane hypothetical where, you know, people are arguing more about Hitler.
Godwin's Law, dude.
Yeah, they're arguing more about Hitler and what would be appropriate for Hitler if Hitler was trans. I mean, like, you give people a crazy hypothetical like this and they're going to go wild with it. You know, and it actually ends up detracting from the issue you're trying to talk about, which is, hey, even though you got double D titties and a big fat ass and you're a trans chick who spent all this money trying to look sexy, you committed a crime, so we're sending you to men's prison where you're basically just rape meat for the fucking dogs.
Yeah.
Like, that's a problem. That shouldn't be happening. But why do you fucking, why in the attempt to make that case are you like, even Hitler would deserve good treatment?
Yeah, like why even like
Hitler's
hypothetically
gender needs to be respected. Even that's how far we're going with
Hitler
it.
wasn't a trans person, and why you think it serves the cause of trans people to have people imagining Hitler as a trans person, I don't know. I mean, I think that this tweet could have been just as impactful, in fact probably even more impactful in terms of the actual issue that she's trying to talk about here. If she just said, wow, it's fucked up that trans women get sent to male prisons to be rape dolls for the crazy sociopaths in there.
Once again, we had one Streamlab come in that didn't quite go through for whatever reason. Somebody said, and they're talking about the Lawrence Krauss thing that we were discussing a little bit earlier. While I agree that it'd be easier to tell a guy to fuck off, women have also been killed simply for rebuffing in advance, so it's not always that easy. Well, usually
I understand
it is.
that, but here's the thing. Not every, like, you cannot treat every dude that walks up to a chick and goes, hey, you got a nice ass, want to fuck, as a dude that is possibly going to burn a chick alive for saying no. You deal with those issues when they happen. You see what I mean? When a sick fucking psychopath walks up to a woman and goes, "Hey, want to fuck?" and she goes, "No," and he beats her over the head and fucks her anyway, then you punish that man. You don't treat every man like they're a sick psychopath that wants to club a bitch and rape her because they asked her if she wants to fuck. You know what I mean? Like, that part is totally natural. There's nothing you're ever going to do to suppress people's desire to fuck. It's just that when the woman says no, no means no shit. That's what you enforce. If the dude keeps, even if he doesn't touch her, even if he keeps following her around, like, yeah, let's fuck, come on, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. That's harassment. There are laws against that, and you prosecute based on the law that was broken. You don't try and institute fucking the pre-crime system for every dude out there that's just trying to get his dick wet.
You know, if this guy gets rejected, you know, you got to realize that if you get rejected, he might just kill you on the spot. What? You reject my dick? Die, bitch. Like, how many guys are going to do that? That is such a fringe minority of fucking dudes.
Yeah, dude, how many fucking propositions are delivered every fucking day by men towards women, and how many of them end in the violent raping of that woman?
Yeah, I mean, like, if anything, like, even if a dude has a bad reaction, it's way more likely to be like, yeah, whatever, you fucking dyke, or some stupid shit like
Which,
that.
once again, I'm sorry to say this, you are not, like, he can call you a stupid fucking dyke for saying no to him, and he hasn't committed a crime against you there either. You're not free from being lambasted. And now, once again, if he keeps following you around like, fucking dyke won't fuck me, but then he's harassing you once again, prosecution time. But until then, you can't criminalize a dude trying to get his dick wet. I'm sorry. The human species depends upon it.
Oregon principal posts videos stating bullied kids tend to annoy people. Tend to be annoying. So let's take a look.
Oh, shoot. It's always a two-sided coin.
Bullying remarks.
It's very rare that a kid is just picking on them for the joy of it.
A local school principal is being accused of victim shaming. Parents of kids at Centennial Elementary School in Scio say the administrator's public remarks on bullying are offensive.
Tonight, that principal is defending his comments. He spoke with Fox 12's Marja Martinez. She joins us from Scio with what people on both sides had to say.
In a YouTube video, the school's principal states that some kids provoke bullies and ought to be taught to be less annoying. Now, that frustrated some people in this community.
Yeah, whatever. Look, this is not a pearl clutching moment for me, but this dude shouldn't be the president of a fucking school or the principal of a fucking school. There's no goddamn way, dude. All right, like, yeah. Do some fucking targets of bullying invite that shit on themselves by, being annoying or whatever? Maybe. But does that need to be brought up by the principal of a school? Shouldn't, like, all bullying, be a bad thing?
Sure, but at the same time, what he's saying, I mean, like, what he's saying is certainly, at least in some cases, true. I mean, are there not kids that are annoying little shits?
Sure.
I mean, like, you shouldn't, I mean, there's never a fucking excuse to bully somebody just because they annoy you or whatever. But to say that, there's not annoying people and that maybe sometimes kids are picked on because they're annoying little shits, like, It's not the place for the principal of the school to say that. And why is the principal of the school making YouTube videos opining on this shit anyway?
Well, he's wishing he hadn't now, I can almost guarantee you.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're a fucking school administrator, the parents want you and the kids want you to just have a hardline anti-bullying stance. That's what's kind of wanted and expected of you. I understand that maybe he's just trying to use some nuance, or maybe he's thinking of some specific examples of kids that are inviting bullying on themselves by being stupid shits. But, it's just the wrong tack to take. It's not a fucking opinion that is really welcome.
The answer to that kind of bullying is not, well, just go ahead and let the bullies bully then. Like, that's not,
I mean, if you were bullied, you gotta realize you probably brought down on yourself. Look at what you're doing.
You gotta realize you're dealing with children here too. These are not fucking adults that, are fully developed mentally and can fucking understand the consequences of their actions. So a lot of these kids probably don't realize they're being annoying.
I mean, listen to this quote. So if you find your kid being a target, one thing you could do to help them separate from the bullying is you can help them learn to not be annoying.
Okay, dude.
I mean, you know, you shouldn't be the principal.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be the principal.
No, this dude should not be the principal of a school. Probably won't be pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm thinking that probably he won't be for much longer. Cocaine Cowgirl says she helped smuggle drugs so she could get Instagram likes. 'Cause that's what's important in life. When she was first recruited by her sugar daddy, 24-year-old Melina Roberge, I don't know, wanted nothing to do with his plans. The mystery man, the identity of whom she says she will not divulge because she fears for her safety, wanted her to smuggle more than $30 million worth of cocaine into Australia, reported the Toronto Star. She balked, but then he explained how they would do it. It would be a trip of a lifetime on the Sea Princess, a cruise that would leave England and traipse around South America, the United States, and across the Pacific. She and another Canadian woman decided to take the trip and later became known as the Cocaine Babes or Cocaine Cowgirls. Australian authorities caught them weeks later pulling 95 kilograms of cocaine from their suitcases with the help of drug dogs. Roberge, who pleaded guilty to a drug smuggling charge in February, was expected to net around $100,000 for working this job, but she told the court she signed on not for the money, but because she was driven to take photos of herself in exotic locations for likes and attention.
That's probably not a good idea.
I mean,
when you're on a fucking cocaine run, you probably don't want to be documenting it with photos and videos every 15
this
seconds.
is everywhere we were with the cocaine.
Loading the coke into the fucking suitcases. Hashtag Coke Life, LOL.
You know what I mean? Probably a bad fucking idea.
I can't believe that like with $100,000 going to her, she's like, I don't even really care about that. What I really want is useless fucking can't buy you shit likes on Instagram so I can feel popular and special.
Wow.
Like if you're that desperate for the approval of other people, you got some fucking serious issues. You know, you're going to, well, I mean, you know what? Now she's getting all kinds of attention. So,
yep.
Whatever.
Somebody says she's hot as fuck, though. Yeah. I mean, she's pretty good looking, pretty dumb, too.
Yeah. I mean, and she hit all 95 kilos up her butt, too, I hear. So.
Really?
Yeah.
She keistered it?
She really was stuffed to the gills, dude.
Damn,
stuffed to the gills.
That's a lot of keister cocaine.
Some dude said she probably has no ass. I don't know. Maybe she does. It's kind of hard to tell just seeing the top of her. Some bitches, they look real skinny on top, but then they got that real plump shelf of an ass. You don't know.
Yeah, she's got that kind of like, browner skin tone. And a lot of those ladies have got a big, thick old booty hiding underneath them shorts, dude.
I mean, I'm sure the Bull Dyke lesbians in prison will enjoy it.
Yep.
If it's not too loose from the copious amounts of cocaine that she's smuggled in it. More than 80 candidates and politicians have been killed since Mexico's election season took off in September as drug cartels wrestle for power. So, 80 candidates. So people who are running for office being killed, people who are already in office being killed by cartels. 80 of them. I mean, imagine if we were at the point in America where, senators and House representatives and state legislatures and shit are just being
murdered.
Yeah, just murdered in the streets.
I mean, like when it happens, on the rare occasion that it does even attempt to happen here, we lose our fucking. You remember Gabby Giffords and shit.
Yeah, Gabby Giffords and Steve Scalise. Yep. If there's even an attempt at assassinating a fucking politician.
Imagine if there were 80 of them killed since September just in this country. I mean, we're talking about a smaller country than the United States too. So this is magnified by the smaller population that it's happening in. 80 fucking candidates and sitting politicians since
So let's
September.
read some of these bullet points. An explosion of political assassinations in Mexico has cast a pall over the nationwide election slated for July 1st. At least 82 candidates and office holders have been killed since the electoral season kicked off in September, including 4 in the past week alone. The victims hail from a variety of political parties, large and small, and most were running for local offices far removed from the national spotlight. Security experts suspect drug gangs are driving much of the bloodshed. With a record of about 3,400 mostly local offices up for grabs in July, Mexico's warring cartels appear to be jostling for influence. Federal and state governments are providing candidates with security, but the measures have proved largely ineffective. No shit, as the death toll continues to rise.
I mean, 80 deaths in September. It sounds like your security measures aren't working.
I mean, the problem is that these cartels are so entrenched in these governments that are so corrupt that, you know, if they want to kill somebody, all they got to do is go to some contact in the government and be like, where's this person going to be at what time? And, you know, security might even be bribed to kind of take their eye off the ball for a minute, you know. Crazy shit going on.
I mean, how much of that death and destruction is due to America's fucking shitty-ass backwards drug policy, too?
Tons of it.
I mean, it's just funded by it.
Magda Rubio had just launched her campaign for mayor of a small city in northern Mexico when a chilling voicemail came through her cell phone. Drop out, the caller warned, or be killed. It was the first of 4 death threats Rubio said she received since January from the same well-spoken anonymous man. She has stayed in the race in Guachachi, located in the mountain regions of Chihuahua State. That is a key route for heroin trafficking, but 2 armed bodyguards now follow her around the clock. At 2 a.m., you start getting scared, and you say, something bad is going on here, she said. Well, no shit.
No fucking shit.
An explosion of political assassinations in Mexico has cast a pallor over national elections, slated for July 1st, when voters will choose their next president and fill a slew of down-ballot posts. At least 82 candidates and officers and office holders have been killed since the election season kicked off in September, making this the bloodiest presidential race in recent history, according to a tally by Edelect, a security consultancy based in Mexico City, and Reuters Research. 4 were slain in the past week alone. They include Juan Carlos Andrade, and oh man, I suck at fucking foreign words, dude. Magana, who was running for re-election as mayor of the hamlet of located in Mexico's western Jalisco state. Jalisco? I don't know how Mexican J's work. Oh shit. You're probably right. It's statistically unlikely for that to happen. Going back to that, didn't mean to blow a gasket, lol. Just thought I'd play devil's advocate when I heard that. Here's some more money. Keep being awesome and disgusting tubs of shit. Thank you. The fucking middle of this, like, man, Mexico's fucked up. Then a
farting My Little Pony shows up.
4 were slain the past week alone, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, like, this is crazy, man. I just feel fucking bad for the people who have to live with this shit, and this is just their lives. This is just their country. You know, I mean, it'd be like, you know, if there was like a rash of like mayors and city councilmen and shit, and anybody who fucking spoke out against cartels is just getting, dragged in the street and shot.
What's weird to me is that a place that's this violent and this out of control still has a tourism industry.
Yeah.
You know, people are still going on vacation to Mexico, and I'm just like, are you fucking insane?
So, crime bosses are looking to install friendly lawmakers, eliminate those of rivals, and so basically, and scare off would-be reformers. So basically, anyone who speaks out against the cartels is shot. Anyone who's in the pocket of one cartel and another cartel wants someone in their pocket, that person's killed. And
certainly anybody who speaks out like about cracking down on the cartels.
Any sort of like person who's like, we got to reform this shit. We got to deal with these fucking, these cartels and their power and their stranglehold on our society. They're just killed. So I mean, it'd be like if one of these groups in America, like, I don't know, the alt-right, the SJWs, pick your poison, if they started just killing people they didn't agree with. And there's nothing you can fucking do about it.
Or like if all the drug dealers in the United States just kind of got together.
The Crips and the Bloods unite to fucking started
knocking
our
off
politicians and shit. Like, oh, these people are against this. Fucking, they're against. They want to pass tougher sentences or something. They're shot.
When has the cartel gone after tourists? I mean, I know it's happened. I know tourists have been abducted and murdered in Mexico. It's certainly not their main target. But I'm talking about just being in a place where people are gunned down in the street a lot. Not the intended target isn't the only person killed in those a lot of the times.
Yeah, I mean, like, people are abducted by these cartels and held hostage sometimes.
Ransomed and,
It happens. I mean, like, usually it's not like the big, guys who are running coke and shit that are doing it, but like the small-time criminals in Mexico, they'll fucking abduct a tourist and fucking hold them ransom.
I mean, the cops in Mexico will do that shit sometimes, depending on where you're at.
Like, the problem is that the corruption in Mexico is so entrenched that so many of the politicians are in the pockets of the cartels, so many of the police are in the pockets of the cartels. There's no serious opposition to the cartels. They basically run Mexico.
You have that kind of poverty and desperation, too, and your big fat white ass with your big fat wallet filled with big fat American cashier's checks and dollars and shit. You're a fucking giant target in a place like that.
Yeah, and there's multiple cartels all at war, all trying to get their politicians in there. Do you think the wall is going to protect us from Mexican cartel? I don't think the wall is going to happen, but if it does, I don't think it's going to protect us from shit.
Yep.
That's my basic general...
The wall is a fucking boondoggle, dude.
Opinion. I think if you actually want to stop the flow of illegal immigrants into America, a much better solution is to tax the businesses that hire them, and maybe even not tax them, but fine them heavily. Maybe even use those fines to do job programs for Americans. I don't know. Something like that would probably be much more effective, because the reason they're coming over here is because they're getting hired by mostly giant corporations and companies that want cheap labor.
Yeah, this narrative that they're coming over here so that they can immediately get on welfare is, by and large, just silliness.
I mean, some of them do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, people abuse any system, but I'm telling you, the vast majority of people coming here are looking for work.
Yeah, they want to work on farms. They want to work on... I mean, like, you need to start fucking finding these people. These companies that hire illegal aliens, if that's your big concern in life is illegal immigrants, then that's what you got to do.
We hate illegal immigrants, but not enough to pay an extra buck for our fucking produce, because we have to pay people an actual living wage to pick it.
All right, so this is the last thing. I just wanted to read this person's screed about racism.
All right.
Even this dictionary definition doesn't support the existence of racism against white people. If a black person beats up a white person for being white, it's not based in the belief that they're a superior race. It's retaliation for the oppression caused by a systematically upheld system of white supremacy. Because we are taught from childhood that being white is better, by which I mean the concept of whiteness, which was created and enforced by white Europeans, is institutionally seen as better, more beautiful, the default of personhood. It's why, for example, white people aren't used to being described as white people as opposed to POC, who are automatically given racial identifiers. You're used to being just people. It's why traditionally European features are the global standard of beauty. But yeah, like I said, even by this definition you gave, a black still person cannot be racist. What do you think of that line of logic?
I mean, it's just silliness. It's trying to move the goalposts, obviously. This idea that white people never get referred to as white, I mean, that's just silly. I mean, I'm a white dude, and I refer to people as white all the time.
Again if you try to take
that black dude, that white dude, that Mexican dude, whatever the fuck.
Why does Mexico seem like it's in Afghanistan? I mean, it's destabilized.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's destabilized, but I don't think it's quite as destabilized as Afghanistan is, but it's pretty fucked up shit going on in Mexico. Way worse shit going on in Afghanistan, last I checked.
Why can't we all just agree that beating someone or attacking someone or trying to disparage someone because of the color of their skin is wrong, no matter who's doing it?
The premise here is that if a black person beats the shit out of and attacks a white person for being white, that's not racist because it's revenge.
Why is it okay for that white person to become the avatar of all of this black person's rage at the systemic oppression? Like, let's assume that I believe that all of that exists as it's described in the screed here. Why is it okay for a black person to vent that rage at this paper doll white guy that had absolutely nothing personally to do with that oppression?
It's not. On no level is it.
And why does the label racism not apply? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It like the idea that you want it, like you should be, if you want to advance the cause of POC, you should be one of the first people to speak out against violence just because of the color of a person's skin. Because that type of shit has been perpetrated against POC. And you've seen the end results of it. So it would seem to me that if you're against that sort of thing, that if there was a black person out there like, yeah, I'm going to beat up a white person because of this, that, and the other, you'd call that out almost as quick as you'd call out a white person doing the same thing. It would seem to behoove your fucking movement to have a fucking hard line on that, a hard stance on that shit. But apparently not.
Someone wrote me and said, this is a Streamlab for $6.66 that I don't think came up from 4 minutes ago, which is weird because one from 2 minutes ago came up. It's just so fucking bizarre with Streamlabs. I just started Twitter and DM'd you and gave you money. Be my first follower, you banana fucking god. All right. I guess I could maybe do that for $6.66. So I am out of stories and shit to comment on, but if people want to do some Streamlabs or some super chats, we could maybe bounce off those for a minute. But failing that,
and don't say
this is pretty much wrapped up. But go, Paul, you have more something to say on this?
Well, there's just somebody in the fucking chat saying, they and this and that and the other thing. Like, this is not representative. I hate to be a not all black people guy. This is not representative of how all black people feel. This is a crazy contingent of social justice warriorism. And let's judge the individual on his statements and not try and apply this thinking and logic to every fucking black person on the planet.
If you do that, you're guilty of the same shit this motherfucker's doing. You're just making an entire race an avatar for a grievance that you have.
Exactly. This stupid black... I don't even know if this person's black. I mean, they might be just an ally. Who the fuck knows? But assuming that this person is also a person of color... He's just a stupid individual. Like, don't lump all black people into this fucking boat. Judge individuals based on their own merits.
Just like you don't want him lumping all white people into this, it's systemic oppression, so it's okay when you beat the shit out of a white person. It's not racist. It's just, like, they make it sound like it's just this justified act of retaliation. Like, yeah, it's okay because they did so much bad to black people. It's like, no, we're not... no one is guilty of the crimes of everyone who shares their fucking skin color.
Absolutely
not.
No
one is to be credited with the achievements of everyone who shares their skin color. People should be judged on an individual basis. There's no argument against that that's worth its fucking salt. It's just fucking bullshit. It's this stupid identity politics bullshit. It has no fucking basis in reality. It has no logical basis whatsoever. It's just insanity, and it's insane when white racists do it. It's insane when black racists do it, and it's insane to say that black people can't be racist.
Because I'm telling you, like the fucking objective of a lot of people, and I'm not going to say all people. There might be people making arguments like the one we're reading here in good faith, but the objective of a lot of these people is to foment that dissent, to drive a further wedge between people based on something that's totally meaningless. And when you engage in that, like, oh yeah, they're tribal and they, you know what I mean? You're just, like TJ said, you're doing the same thing they're doing.
I'm a Brazilian guy, and I'm curious how you perceive my country.
Big fat butts and lots of violence.
Yeah, both those things. I look at a lot of butt-themed subreddits, and I see a lot of nice asses that hail from Brazil, but I also follow a subreddit called Watch People Die, and I see a lot of fucking crazy shit that goes down in Brazil, too, so...
Yep.
It's kind of a grab bag there, isn't it? I love white women too much to be racist. Damn, he's stealing our women.
Damn.
Whoa. SJWs are a cancer on the U.S., period. The U.S., period, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
when America bleeds from its collective pussy.
Anybody that takes a hardline fucking social or political stance that isn't willing to listen to the other side and find common ground is a fucking cancer on the United States. The SJWs don't, like, just because they're the hot topic right now doesn't mean that they've got a fucking, they ain't got it all sewed up as far as fucking cancers. We got a lot of fucking different types of cancer rolling in this country.
Yeah, we need extensive and aggressive chemo at this point. Extensive and aggressive.
I mean, a lot of this fucking anti-SJW skepto community has turned into fucking cancer as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just,
doubt. What's the hardest drug you've ever done? Probably acid, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends on how you're going to... I mean, like, I don't know how to fucking rank drugs in order of, like, hardness, because I've done a lot of benzos, but I think probably to most people's ears, acid is probably the strongest thing.
I mean, for me, I would probably gauge on how much did you abuse the benzo. Like, because if you take a real fucking high dose of benzos, that's a hard drug.
Yeah, and I did.
Yeah, I mean...
I took enough to where I didn't have control of my arms anymore.
See, you're in way more mortal danger from taking high-dose benzodiazepine.
So I guess the benzos then.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have, you know, it's like acid. I mean, that's like 12 hours in your system, and you're seeing crazy shit. And a lot of people just think, like, that they're going to fucking jump off a building or something if they do acid, you know?
I mean, if you do it stupid, you do too much of it your first time and you're around people that, you know, don't have your best interests at heart, yeah, you can fuck yourself up on acid. But I'm telling you, like, for me, the more dangerous drug there is definitely the benzos.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just die from benzo overindulgence.
My arms weren't working, so, you know, what if that had been my heart that just decided, it ain't working no more?
Yeah.
Done. Aren't cigarettes, nicotine, much harder drug than LSD? I guess. I don't know. You can die from Xanax pretty easy, not LSD.
Yeah, you'd have to take a pretty crazy dose of LSD.
Like I said, I mean, it just depends on how you're quantifying hard.
Yeah, I don't really separate drugs out into hard and soft either, because I mean, any drug can be pretty hard dependent on how you take it and your reaction to it and shit. Like, I've seen people take quote unquote harder drugs, you know, ecstasy and MDMA, that type of shit, and have a perfectly good time. And I've seen people smoke one fucking joint and have a complete panic attack meltdown to the point where they need to be hospitalized. So
this dude keeps asking about Hillary Clinton's dark web tape. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fill us in on that.
Yeah, so I don't know anything about it. You have to tell me what the fuck you're even talking about. I've not heard anyone talking about this. I don't even know if you're referencing a real thing, if you're just trolling.
See, heroin, like, once again, there are people out there that have chippy heroin habits that go on and live totally normal fucking lives and keep them their whole, you know what I mean? Like, not every person is, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio from the Basketball Diaries on heroin, right? There are people out there that indulge in heroin occasionally, slam some heroin, and it's fine. You know what I mean? There are people out there that live pretty productive, normal lives with that addiction.
I mean, I've met people who were on meth and shit that were still living their normal lives.
Yeah, I mean, it really is dependent upon the individual, the hardness of a drug. Your reaction to the drug is what you're gauging there, and that differs from person to person.
All right, so I am going to go ahead and end this stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate your support. I just want you guys to know that, once again, this Abandon Hope shit, which is usually just me, is going to not exclusively move to Patreon, but I am going to do one of these a month on Patreon. Also, I'll just go ahead and pull up the fucking Patreon. I think it's still up here somewhere.
Cool.
Pessimist Productions, all of our stuff's being rolled into it. You get the Friday deep fat fried episodes for our podcast.
That's between 4 and 5 episodes a month, depending on the month.
You get this show, Abandon Hope. You get me and Paul watching a shitty movie, Cynics versus Cinema, and we make fun of it. You get Ideology streams, which is kind of like what we just did now, but not as more just interacting with the chat, less about this stuff. And
it's all for $5, dude.
Yeah, and it's all down below. You can check that out if you're interested. You can go read about it. There's a whole big description about what it is right here. It's one tier. There's one level. There's not all sorts of different tiers you got to choose from and shit. So if you want to consider supporting this show, these shows are getting a bunch of free, not free content, but a bunch of fucking premium content and shit. You could do so that way. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. Once again, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Toon Grin. Be sure to check them out. And,
Peace.
Peace the fuck out, motherfuckers.